Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, 1,000 National Guard troops on their way to where the hurricane hit the hardest. Startling new images of Helene's destruction. Now the deadliest hurricane to hit the mainland since Katrina.
The nation has your back. We're not leaving till you're back on your feet completely.
President Biden surveying the devastation in the Carolinas, while hundreds of nurses from all over the country arrive in Asheville.
New evidence in the federal election case against Donald Trump. A court filing details how the special counsel says the former president resorted to crimes to stay in office, arguing he was directly responsible for igniting the January 6th riot on Capitol Hill. How Trump is responding.
Former First Lady Melania Trump reportedly breaking with her husband on abortion in her upcoming memoir, a sharp contrast to the former president.
ABC News exclusive. In the case of the Georgia mother of three accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband, as she returns to court in the Bahamas, we hear from her ex-boyfriend and alleged accomplice.
It's time to let the world know that we're innocent.
Why he says she sent a picture with the words, "Kill him."
Guilty plea. One of the doctors charged in Matthew Perry's overdose death, confessing to his role in getting the Friends-starred ketamine. Now, what's next for the ketamine queen?
High-speed rescue. How a Hero State Trooper stopped a malfunctioning car going more than 100 miles an hour with a young driver behind the wheel.
Fallout.
It is time to start planning your fall trips if you have not already.
One Vermont town overwhelmed with tourists, while the locals are saying, "Leave us alone."
And champagne all around. Tigers, Royals, and Padres with beautiful wild card sweeps, while the Brewers' bats come alive. It's go big or go home tonight against the Mets. And James Blunt with a big announcement. It's true.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning.
It is a busy Thursday morning. We have a lot to get to, including that new court filing detailing new evidence about Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
But we're going to begin with Hurricane Helene. President Biden surveyed the devastation in North and South Carolina and announced that he is deploying more troops to help with the search and recovery. Morgan Norwood is in Asheville, North Carolina, with the latest for us. Good morning, Morgan.
And Robin, good morning. This is the staging grounds, the warehouse, where all morning long we've watched the National Guard come in and out, pulling that much needed supplies, everything from water and food. And right now they are headed into some of the hardest hit areas in western North Carolina, specifically the places that it's been difficult to get this much needed relief in. In fact, operations officials right behind me trying to craft out this relief operation that is almost certain to take days, if not weeks. This morning, new images of Helene's destruction, an RV plummeting over a waterfall in Virginia, as 1,000 troops head into the most hard-hit areas in western North Carolina. President Biden surveying the mass destruction in North and South Carolina from the storm.
The nation has your back. We're not leaving till you're back on your feet completely.
The death toll climbing to nearly 200 people, making Helene the second deadliest hurricane to hit the mainland U.S. in the past 55 years, surpassed only by Hurricane Katrina, with hundreds still missing. This image showing the power outages in the days that followed, and near black strip marking the path of Helene. More than 1 million customers still in the dark as the crisis over drinkable water grows. Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with local authorities and grieving families in Augusta, Georgia.
It is particularly devastating in terms of the loss of life that this community has experienced, the loss of normalcy.
Get in the house. This new video capturing the heart-pounding moments a landslide hit a house in Newland, North Carolina.
James, you all right, bud?
And these neighbors in Hendersonville sheltering in a flooded house with their pets. Back here in Fairview, North Carolina, Philip Morgan showing us the system of ropes he created to repel the terrain since the bridge to his neighborhood was wiped out.
And you engineered this yourself?
I did.
2 hands, right? Okay.
After a 7-minute climb, we arrived. His brother is on a ventilator in need of supplies, and it's only a matter of time before his brother will need to be moved.
What's your biggest fear?
Something happening to him and just not be able to get out of here fast enough.
Nearby at Mission Hospital in Asheville, 400 nurses arriving in buses from across the country, even as far as Alaska, to lend a helping hand.
They showed up with a smile on their face, eager to help, eager just to give us a little bit of reprieve. So it's been amazing.
And President Biden plans to visit other hard-hit states soon. Vice President Kamala Harris also has plans to come here to North Carolina in the coming days. George?
Long road ahead. Okay, Morgan, thanks very much. Now to the new court filing detailing new evidence about Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. It's part of Special Counsel Jack Smith's case for why the former president is not immune from prosecution. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran has the details. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. This is an extraordinary move by Special Counsel Jack Smith. His sweeping new brief is essentially a roadmap of the case he has built against Trump over the past 2 years, laying out the evidence and unsealed just 34 days before the 2024 election.
This morning, the explosive 165-page filing by Special Counsel Jack Smith loaded with new evidence aimed at bolstering Smith's case that when the defendant lost the 2020 election, he resorted to crimes to stay in office. The sweeping legal brief comes as a response to the Supreme Court's decision in June that presidents and former presidents are immune from prosecution for most official acts, which was a major legal victory for Trump at the time. But in this new filing, Special Counsel Smith argues that Trump's actions to overturn the 2020 election were not the official acts of a president, but the illegal deeds of a losing candidate, one who knew he lost and was told so repeatedly. Among the new evidence, prosecutors say a witness will testify that Trump mocked his own election lawyers' false claims about voter fraud, calling them crazy, even as he, quote, adopted and amplified them. Smith also argues that Trump was directly responsible for the tinderbox that he purposely ignited on January 6th, knowing he had only one last hope to prevent Biden's certification as president, the large and angry crowd standing in front of him.
We fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
This filing reveals that prosecutors have obtained evidence from Trump's personal phone, data showing that Trump had his Twitter account open and active for most of the afternoon, while the Capitol was being stormed by his supporters and while Fox News played on the TV in the dining room off the Oval Office. In the middle of it all, Trump tweeting that his vice president, Mike Pence, did not have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution. Smith argues in his brief that that tweet wasn't an official presidential act sent to address a matter of public concern and ease unrest. It was the message of an angry candidate upon the realization that he would lose power. According to the special counsel's filing, shortly after Vice President Mike Pence was whisked to a secure location by the Secret Service, Trump was informed by a White House staffer who hoped, quote, the defendant would take action to ensure Pence's safety. Instead, Trump, quote, looked at him and said only, so what?
Donald Trump and his legal team are blasting this filing by the special counsel because it was unsealed and made public so close to Election Day. They are accusing the Biden Justice Department of trying to interfere with the 2024 campaign. Michael?
All right, Terry Moran, thank you so much for your reporting. I'm going to turn now to Melania Trump's defense of abortion rights. The former First Lady reportedly wrote in her upcoming memoir that abortion is a, quote, woman's fundamental right, end quote, in opposition to her husband's views. Rachel Scott joined us with more. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, Michael, good morning. Yes, Melania Trump reportedly splitting with her husband on the key issue of abortion rights. This news coming in the final stretch of the campaign as the Trump campaign is working to win over likely female voters.
This morning in the final weeks of the 2024 campaign, and just as her husband is trying to appeal to female voters, Melania Trump is publicly breaking with her husband on abortion rights.
Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth, individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
In her upcoming memoir, the former First Lady reportedly writing, why should anyone other than the woman herself have the power to determine what she does with her own body? A woman's fundamental right of individual liberty to her own life grants her the authority to terminate her pregnancy if she wishes. The excerpts were obtained exclusively by The Guardian and have not been verified by ABC News. It's a sharp contrast to the former president, who has repeatedly bragged about nominating 3 of the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade.
We gave it back to the states, and the states are working very brilliantly, in some cases conservative, in some cases not conservative, but they're working, and it's working the way it's supposed to.
20 states have banned or severely restricted access to abortion. Vice President Kamala Harris putting the issue front and center.
1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions even for rape and incest. It is immoral. Immoral.
Melania Trump has only made a handful of campaign appearances this cycle, but her comments come as the Republican ticket is making an all-out appeal to women who are concerned about abortion rights.
And this morning, the Trump campaign declined to comment, but it comes as polls show that Vice President Kamala Harris is ahead of former President Donald Trump when it comes to likely female voters. Trump has tried to change his message on the campaign trail, vowing to be a protector for women. And of course, it was just days ago that Senator J.D. Vance's running mate said that Republicans need to do more to earn the trust from Americans and female voters on the issue of reproductive rights. George.
Rachel Scott, thanks very much. Both candidates are making stops in battleground Midwestern states today. Donald Trump in Michigan, Kamala Harris in Wisconsin with a special guest. Mary Bruce is on the scene in Green Bay. Good morning, Mary.
George, good morning. Yeah, Kamala Harris here on the trail in battleground Wisconsin today, the birthplace of the Republican Party, arguing that the GOP has lost its way. She's trying to reach out to those Republican and independent voters who feel they don't have a home anymore in Donald Trump's party. And to make the case for the first time, she's going to be joined out on the trail by Liz Cheney, once the 3rd highest ranking Republican in Congress. She, of course, went on to chair the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol and has become one of the most vocal critics of the former president. Liz Cheney last month announcing alongside her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney, that she's endorsing Kamala Harris because she says of the risk that Donald Trump poses to our democracy. And Harris, I'm told, is really going to lean in to that message today, arguing that if elected, that she will be a president who will uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, and say that Donald Trump simply will not. Harris is trying to reach out to voters in this critical state that we know is neck and neck, and say to Republicans that while they may not agree on everything, she will say that the country deserves a president who will serve the common good, not his own personal interests. George.
They will be amplifying the special counsel's filing. Okay, Mary Bruce, thanks very much, Robin.
And George, now to overseas, the fighting in the Middle East. Israel launched another strike overnight in Beirut after threatening retaliation for Iran's missile barrage on Tuesday. Matt Gutman is in Tel Aviv with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Robin. President Biden has called for a proportional Israeli response, but here in Israel, there is a growing realization that more of those missiles hit, like the one that destroyed this school, than anticipated. And that is raising expectations for a disproportional response, one that would deter Iran from ever doing this again. That as Israel continues to pound Hezbollah in Lebanon.
This morning, at least 7 people killed, according to Lebanon's health ministry, as the Israeli Air Force continues to pound Beirut. Amid Israel's unrelenting bombing campaign against the Iran-backed militia Hezbollah in Lebanon, thousands of Americans there desperate to escape. The State Department saying 7,000 people contacted the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, many trying to get out. The first government charter flight departing Wednesday, carrying more than 100 Americans and their families.
We do expect to organize additional flights out of Beirut.
And Israel releasing new video this morning saying it shows ground operations in Lebanon now meeting stiff resistance. New video circulating online appearing to show IDF helicopters airlifting soldiers out. Israel saying at least 8 soldiers were killed and 20 more wounded. As Israel calibrates its response to Iran's historic missile assault this morning, the first satellite imagery appearing to show damage at an Israeli airbase, a huge hole gouged in a building near parked planes off the main runway. Israel has said 3 air bases were hit in the attack, seen in this video circulating online, but not disclosing specifics, with many more missiles penetrating Israel's air defenses than during a smaller attack in April.
I've never seen anything like this. I need to get some cover.
And new images this morning emerging of that barrage of missiles Tuesday. Video from the cockpit of a plane showing a wave of missiles arcing up into the night sky over Iran. Most of the missiles were intercepted. And an Israeli official saying its retaliation will be significant and come fast.
Iran has said that its missile strike was in response to Israel's assassination of the leaders of its proxies, Hamas and Hezbollah. And Iran has said that should Israel strike, it will strike back, setting up this possible retaliatory cycle. Michael.
All right, but hopefully that does not happen, Matt. Thank you. We're going to turn now to the latest on the dock worker strike that has shut down ports along the East and Gulf Coast. Both sides are still at an impasse. Elizabeth Schulze is in Elizabeth, New Jersey, with how the strike could impact your bottom line. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, Michael. This is now day 3 where 14 critical ports like this one are shut down from the union dock workers strike. Analysts expect you'll start to see pressure on the prices you pay or possible shortages if this lasts another 1 to 2 weeks. And the first place that would be hit is groceries, especially fresh produce, including 75% of the nation's banana supply. Those foods spoil, so retailers couldn't stock up ahead of time. We could also see higher prices for alcohol. 80% of imported beer, wine, and whiskey comes through East and Gulf Coast ports. One industry that is already making backup plans is pharmaceuticals. Ports in Virginia and South Carolina import a huge supply of medications. The company that makes the popular weight loss drugs Ozempic and Wegovy now says that they are moving products using air freight. The FDA is monitoring the strike. As of now, no impacts on access to medicines, medical devices, or infant formula. We are seeing some images of empty Costco shelves as people rush to buy supplies like toilet paper. But the bottom line is that retailers have had time to prepare for this, so there is no need to panic buy. Robin.
Okay, because that was a flashback. Just seeing that was a flashback to what we went through.
We're not there yet.
Okay, good to know, Elizabeth. Thank you. We're going to turn now to the MLB wildcard matchups. The Royals and the Padres are moving on. And speaking of wild, Will Reeve is here with how the Detroit Tigers, they are just amazing right now.
Yeah, I'm not wild, but the Tigers are. This is unbelievable.
I thought you were talking about him.
What they're up to. The playoffs are in frenetic full swing. The wild card round providing plenty of drama already. But let's hone in on those Detroit Tigers. On August 10th, they had a record of 55 wins and 63 losses. They were 10 games out of a playoff spot. And this morning, they wake up perhaps slightly groggy after a champagne celebration of their wild card round sweep of the Houston Astros. And the hero last night was Andy Ibanez. He rips an 8th inning, 3-run bases clearing double to put the Tigers up for good and puts them into an American League Division Series matchup with the Cleveland Guardians. And Ibanez is 31 years old. He made his big league debut just a few years ago. At age 28, he defected from Cuba to chase his major league dream. Much like the Tigers, he was in a massive slump for most of the year. And much like the Tigers, he is hot at the right time. And not to pocket watch, but this is astounding. The Tigers' total payroll for the 26 players on their playoff roster is $18.8 million. Wow. For context, 62 Major League Baseball players made more than that on their own this season. The Tigers right now, the little engine that could. They're doing great.
That's incredible.
That is. Yeah. Thank you, Will.
You got
Appreciate it.
Coming up, our exclusive interview with the ex-boyfriend and alleged accomplice of the Georgia mom accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband.
And the state trooper who put his life on the line to save a teen whose car was speeding out of control.
In the Vermont town overwhelmed with tourists for fall, Sarah Paulson is live in Times Square this morning. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to GMA. And look at that beautiful scene live from Woodstock, Vermont. But it's so beautiful, not my voice, that some of the locals need a break from tourists that are taking in all that beauty. It's true. We're there live just ahead.
You know, you drink cold water, maybe a little warm tea.
Yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that.
There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I own it.
I thought it sounded just fine.
Thank you.
Okay, this way. Okay, George.
First, the top headlines we're following right now, including the latest on Hurricane Helene's destruction. President Biden surveyed the damage in North and South Carolina from the storm. Death toll now at least 189 people. That makes Helene the second deadliest hurricane to hit the mainland U.S. in the past 55 years, surpassed only by Katrina. Also right now, Bank of America says the glitch that led to an outage yesterday has largely been fixed. Customers reported not being able to see their account balances. Some saw their balances listed at zero. Bank of America did not say what caused the outage.
And big news for the band behind this song.
How I wish you were here.
Yes, Pink Floyd is selling their music catalog. The Financial Times reporting that the British rockers have sold their song to Sony for $400 million, which includes recorded music rights to 15 albums, including Wish You Were Here, The Wall, and Dark Side of the Moon. They also sold the rights to the band's name and likeness, which includes merchandise and theatrical rights as well. Congratulations to them. All right. And we got a lot more ahead, including our exclusive with the drug company Eli Lilly. The maker of Mounjaro and Zepbound takes us inside their lab where they say they're trying to fight the rise of counterfeit medications. That is all coming up, George.
Right now, an ABC News exclusive in the case of Linsey Shiver, the Georgia mother of 3 accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband. This morning, we're hearing from her ex-boyfriend, alleged accomplice, Eva Pilgrim, here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. That ex-boyfriend telling us there was no plot, no plan to kill anyone. This morning, he's speaking out about what he says really happened.
This morning, the Georgia mother of 3 accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband in the Bahamas, back on the island and in court. ABC News following Linsey Shiver's return to Nassau for a pretrial hearing, exclusively speaking to her ex-boyfriend and alleged accomplice.
Nobody ever wanted him dead.
Terrence Adrian Bethel is accused of planning to murder Shiver's husband, Robert. Investigators say he even enlisted the help of his friend, Farron Newbold. But Bethel says they never planned to kill anyone.
I'm definitely not guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. And Phalo's not guilty of being a hired hitman either. It's time to let the world know that we're innocent.
ABC News exclusively obtaining court documents showing the case against the 3 includes key WhatsApp messages between the group. Shiver admitting to investigators to sending frustrating texts after fighting with her husband, at one point texting him a picture of her husband with another woman and the words, "Kill him." Bethel saying Linsey sent that picture and text to find out if her estranged husband left the kids unsupervised at their Bahamas home.
She sends the picture that was just sent to her. Like when she found out that he was there and the kids were home, that's when she was like, kill him.
In July of last year, body camera footage capturing an argument between the couple at their Georgia home, less than a week before Shiver's arrest in the Bahamas.
I woke up this morning, we have travel plans to leave, and he's insisting that I don't go.
She sent a message saying that she's going to change her plans and now get on the airplane with me and the kids to go to the Bahamas.
But I own too, by the way.
And when we land, she's going to go to her boyfriend.
Elsewhere.
And me and the kids are going to our house.
Whenever she gets into an argument with him and she tells me about it, of course I'm livid about it. But planning to murder him? No.
Bethel saying the texts were just the 2 venting to each other. The 2 now awaiting their trial in March. Shiver pleading not guilty to the charges.
Us loving each other was not a secret. She's like my best friend still. We continue to care about each other no matter what. Which also kind of makes it hard, like going through this case.
Now, Shiver has been waiting for her trial back in the U.S. after a judge granted her permission to leave the island. She's been staying with her parents in Alabama, getting to see her kids every other weekend. But a Georgia judge just granted her permission now to also travel there as well so she can more easily see her children. But they're waiting. The trial's set for March.
We haven't heard the last. All right, Eva, thank you as always. Now, the high-speed rescue that was caught on camera, a Minnesota state trooper stopped an out-of-control car going more than 100 miles an hour after it malfunctioned with a young driver behind the wheel. Rhiannon Alley is here with the story, first reported by our ABC station in Fargo, WDAY. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Good morning to you, Robin. Now, that teen is okay, but he says he thought he was going to die in a crash. But one very brave state trooper put his own life on the line to make sure that didn't happen.
I felt like an eternity.
It's a heart-stopping high-speed rescue caught on camera.
So if you can get in front of it, slow it down, do it now. Otherwise, we're just going to have to see what happens.
This 2022 white Honda Pilot malfunctioning, unable to stop as it continues to accelerate upwards of 110 miles per hour. Traveling roughly 30 miles through 3 major state highways, even crossing the state border.
Yeah, I'll try to get in front of you and add a little extra brake power.
The driver, 18-year-old Sam Dutcher, trying everything he could to stop the car.
Are you able to push that e-brake and just lock him up?
His mom rushing to catch up to her son, calling 911.
My son is driving the car currently because I'm in the loaner car, and he is going down County 17, can't get the car to slow down or stop.
I don't think this is going to stop. I'm going to hit the end of this
road and I'm going to die.
Minnesota State Trooper Zach Groover responding.
Over the radio, it was aired that he was doing 80 to 90 miles an hour. And when I caught up to him, I hit my radar and he was at 113.
Knowing the road was soon going to split, there was not enough time to disable the tires.
We're not going to be able to get 6.
Groover made a decision that could have cost his life, speeding in front of Sam, taking the impact of the crash.
Hold him.
Sam was able to walk away with just minor injuries.
That hit hard. That was like, it was slowing down, and then it wasn't.
Days later, Sam and his mom reuniting with Trooper Groover.
To think about him risking his life to save my son was just, it was amazing.
Overnight, Honda saying in a statement to ABC News, "We are grateful that the customer is safe," adding, "We cannot speculate about the issue experienced by the customer without a detailed inspection of the vehicle. We encourage the family to have the vehicle towed to an authorized Honda dealer to enable that inspection."
You can only imagine what that mother was feeling. Now, the family told us they took that car to the dealership. It is now in storage. The whole ordeal lasted about 20 minutes. It's truly remarkable when you think about the fact that they just don't train for this type of thing. No. So that everyone made it out safely is remarkable.
It is. Good trade.
Thank you, Rhiannon. Now, with one of the most beautiful sights of fall, the foliage changing color, and you can see it now. That's Woodstock, Vermont. Beautiful. It's popular with tourists, but some of the tourists are not so popular with the locals. Trevor Ault is there to explain why. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. So Woodstock, Vermont tends to catch fire on social media this time of year. It is no surprise given how gorgeous it is. And the neighbors do love all the tourism it draws, but they don't love people by the busload sneaking onto their driveways, their porches, their ponds. And this year they're having to put up some safeguards against the waves of influencers who keep coming by.
This morning, fall foliage in full swing in states like Vermont.
It is time to start planning your fall trips if you have not already.
But as tourists and influencers swarm New England to witness these changing leaves, residents here are determined to avoid some of the unexpected chaos that resulted last year.
It's like I can't even get to my home.
They are walking on the lawn, the property, to take their photo shoots.
I have been asked, where's the parking area? Where are the bathrooms? Where's the food facilities? There's none of that here.
Local officials say those crowded, narrow streets are a hazard.
If we had to have first responders go up in that area in case of emergency, they may not be able to get through in time, and so that was our concern.
So this year the neighbors are taking action. They have raised thousands to close down these streets and pay deputies to post up and keep these busloads of people from coming through. The sheriff says 2 roads have been closed this year, and it's proven effective at maintaining the peace for neighbors while still encouraging tourists to visit the public areas of their beautiful community. So you want to deter some of that behavior, but you don't want to keep people from coming here?
No, we love it, right? It's just what has happened with the social media influence. Ultimately, we want people to come to Vermont. We want people to enjoy the scenery, the foliage, shop in our shops, all those type of things. It just has become too much on these particular roads.
And to be clear, the local governments made the decision to shut down the road, but it was the neighbors that raised all that money to have deputies make sure everyone is obeying the signs. And everyone insists they definitely still want people to visit. I mean, take a look up above once again from our drone. This is the view here where we are at Billings Farm and Museum. It is unbelievable, all of those changing colors. And the sheriff, the neighbors, they do still want people to come and visit. You just cannot sneak onto people's private property to try to get a good photo.
Guys, that's not asking too much.
No one would like that. Yeah. All right, Trevor, thank you so much, and thank you for dressing the part. You look great.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
This song is for you, Robin.
You're beautiful.
Oh, you're not going to sing it for us? Okay, all right. We're back now. It is our play of the day. You remember that song from 20 years ago already. Now, James Blunt is his name. And for now, we'll read it. That's for now.
Yeah, right,
yeah,
for now.
Explain that for us, Will.
Yeah, you got it, Michael. You know James Blunt as the Grammy-nominated singer of You're Beautiful, Goodbye My Lover, and more from his debut album Back to Bedlam. It was released on October 11th, 2004, if you can believe it. You also know him as James Blunt for now, at least. And to commemorate the 20-year anniversary of that album, which was, by the way, the biggest selling debut from a British artist in the UK ever, he has an announcement posting, "Wanna Ruin My Life?" along with this video.
If Back to Bedlam re-enters the charts at #1, I will legally change my name. I've been called many things in my life. Most hated man in pop, annoying, James Beige. I'll let the people decide. But if it doesn't go to number one, I'm not changing my name. It's safe to say this is the most important Democratic moment of the year.
All right, then we got some work to do here.
That was funny.
That was funny.
That was
And
good.
I want to give you a list of some of the names. He's writing he's going to legally change his name if Back to Bedlam 20th Anniversary Edition reaches number one, and you comment your name and suggestions. Here are some of the most liked comments that the winner might be among, what are they, Blunt Force, Blunty McBluntface, and Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Pop Star 4-chord Song Machine. I guess he's still taking suggestions?
He needs to keep taking suggestions.
But it also has to hit number one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If comment with your suggestions, I suppose. Robin, anyone else? That's it. Let's play the day.
But you're going to stick around because you're going to bring us pop news.
We got lots more to do.
Okay. Sarah Paulson is here as well. Come on back. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. 1,000 troops on their way to where the hurricane hit the hardest. This morning, the new images of Helene's destruction.
The nation has your back. We're not leaving till you're back on your feet completely.
President Biden surveying the devastation in the Carolinas, while hundreds of nurses from all over the country arrive in Asheville.
Guilty plea. One of the doctors charged in Matthew Perry's overdose death confessing to his role in getting the friend's star ketamine. What it could mean for other defendants in the case.
Urgent warning. The new CDC alert about the risk of buying counterfeit medications online. We get an exclusive look inside drug maker Eli Lilly, how the company that makes Mounjaro and Zepbound is raising the alarm about counterfeit meds, and the tips to make sure you're getting the right product.
Take my breath.
And Sarah Paulson is here live with her new psychological thriller that will take your breath away.
He'll make you do terrible things.
Plus, what she's saying about a new installment of American Horror Story as we say Good Morning America.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA.
GMA stands for Good Morning America. We cannot wait to catch up with Sarah Paulson.
Oh, that's always a good time. And fall is here, and as you said earlier, our Trevor Alt and producer Dom were dressed for the part there in Vermont. And coming up, fashion expert Erica Wark is here showing us outerwear that's in style and perfect for any temperature.
Also, Ed, we have an exclusive look inside drug maker Eli Lilly.
But first, look at the top stories breaking at 8, starting with Hurricane Helene. President Biden surveyed the devastation in North and South Carolina and announced he's deploying more troops to help with a search and recovery. So let's go back to Morgan Norwood, who is there in Asheville for us again. Good morning, Morgan.
Hey, good morning to you again, Robin. This warehouse right behind me full of supplies. And all morning long, we've watched the National Guard come in and out, and they're headed right now into the disaster zone. All of this after President Joe Biden saw this devastation here across western North Carolina and the hard-hit region firsthand, directing 1,000 troops to assist. And as the already staggering death toll from Helene continues to climb, it stands at nearly 200 people this morning. Bridges, roads still washed out, others covered in debris, cutting off communities, some even hiking through the woods to get supplies. The loss of power and internet services still plaguing this region, and it's making the search and rescue operations, along with the race to provide relief, even more difficult. Hundreds of agencies are on the ground racing to provide this relief in a recovery effort that's almost certain to take months. George?
Okay, Morgan, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the new court filing detailing new evidence about Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. It's part of Special Counsel Jack Smith's case for why the former president is not immune from prosecution. I want to go back to senior national correspondent Terry Moran. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. That's it. With this extraordinary new filing, Special Counsel Jack Smith is making the argument that despite the Supreme Court's decision granting presidents sweeping immunity from criminal prosecution, a trial of Donald Trump can and should go forward, and he lays out much of the evidence he'd use in that case.
This morning, the explosive 165-page filing by Special Counsel Jack Smith loaded with new evidence aimed at bolstering Smith's case that when the defendant lost the 2020 election, he resorted to crimes to stay in office. The sweeping legal brief comes as a response to the Supreme Court's decision in June that presidents and former presidents are immune from prosecution for most official acts, which was a major legal victory for Trump at the time. But in this new filing, special counsel Smith argues that Trump's actions to overturn the 2020 election were not the official acts of a president, but the illegal deeds of a losing candidate, one who knew he lost and was told so repeatedly. Among the new evidence, prosecutors say a witness will testify that Trump mocked his own election lawyers' false claims about voter fraud, calling them crazy, even as he, quote, adopted and amplified them. Smith also argues that Trump was directly responsible for the tinderbox that he purposely ignited on January 6th, knowing he had only one last hope to prevent Biden's certification as president, the large and angry crowd standing in front of him.
Donald Trump and his legal team are blasting this filing because it was unsealed and made public just 34 days before the election. His team is saying that this is an attempt by the Biden Justice Department to interfere with the presidential election. George?
Terry Moran, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to the Matthew Perry overdose investigation. One of the former doctors accused of distributing ketamine to the Friends star pled guilty in a Los Angeles courtroom yesterday. And our Kana Wentworth is in Los Angeles with the latest. Good morning, Kana.
Michael, good morning to you. Dr. Mark Chavez is the third person to plead guilty in the death of Matthew Perry. He could face 10 years in prison as he now helps investigators build their case against two other defendants.
This morning, one of the doctors charged in the ketamine overdose death of Friends star Matthew Perry pleading guilty. Mark Chavez hustled out of a Los Angeles federal courtroom Wednesday after admitting to writing fraudulent ketamine prescriptions for Perry. He's one of 5 people prosecutors say took part in a broad, underground criminal network.
These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves.
Investigators say Perry, who died nearly a year ago, was legally prescribed the powerful anesthetic to treat depression, and that he sought out Dr. Chavez and Dr. Salvador Plasencia to increase his supply. Prosecutors allege the doctors at one point charging Perry $55,000 for 20 vials of ketamine, with Dr. Plasencia allegedly texting Dr. Chavez.
He wrote in a text message in September 2023, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay."
Chavez agreeing to a plea deal in August, surrendering his passport and relinquishing his medical license as he agrees to cooperate with federal investigators.
He's incredibly remorseful what happened, not just because it happened to Matthew Perry, but because it happened to a patient.
Dr. Chavez will probably make a very compelling witness when this case finally goes to trial. By cooperating now and agreeing to provide as much evidence in full cooperation with the prosecution going forward, that's something that will reduce his sentence substantially.
Now, he will be sentenced in April. Prosecutors again now turning their attention to Dr. Plasencia and Jasveen Sangha, an accused drug dealer known as the ketamine queen, who authorities say supplied that fatal dose. Now, they have pleaded not guilty, and their trial starts in March. Guys.
Kana Wentworth, thanks very much. Coming up on our GMA Morning Menu, we have an exclusive look inside a lab of the drug maker behind Mounjaro and Zepbound as the CDC warns about the risk of buying counterfeit meds.
Also ahead, the new partnership that Reese Witherspoon is calling a dream come true. That's coming up in Pop News.
Plus, we're revealing the first ever Birdie Breakthrough Beauty Awards with social media director Star Donaldson, showing us the latest innovations. And Will, got a special guest, don't you?
I certainly do. Hello, I'm here with the one and only Sarah Paulson. She's here to tell us about her new thriller, Hold Your Breath. And Sarah, you are absolutely lovely, but you play some scary characters. Who's scarier, this new character or the American Horror Story?
I'm going to say this character.
Okay.
Yeah.
More to come on that. Don't be scared. There's more coming up on GMA.
Oh boy, the conversations in the breaks are my favorite. And welcome back to GMA, everybody. We're very excited because we're going back to school with the stars of Abbott Elementary next week. Quinta Brunson, Shirley Ralph, and Tyler James Williams will all be here before the big premiere of season 4. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we always have so much fun with them. We're turning now to our GMA cover story. The CDC is out with an urgent warning about the risk of buying counterfeit prescription medication from fake online pharmacies. Eva Pilgrim got an exclusive look inside a lab at drug maker Eli Lilly, where they say they're trying to fight the rise of counterfeit medications. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. Many people have turned to these medications for weight loss, and due to demand and pricing, some people are trying to find alternative ways to get their hands on the drugs. But experts warn that can be dangerous.
This morning, Eli Lilly and Company, the maker of popular drugs Mounjaro and Zepbound, is urgently warning patients about the dangers of counterfeit medications.
We've seen examples where there were dangerous medicines like an insulin in here. A patient injecting this, thinking that they're getting Mounjaro and instead getting potentially an overdose of another pharmaceutical product. So really, these are incredibly risky, situations.
Lilly says counterfeits are often being marketed online as the real stuff and disguised as genuine medications. The company and Dr. David Hyman, the chief medical officer, giving us an exclusive look inside one of its labs, showing us counterfeit items like this Mounjaro pen.
They've removed the original label. They've stuck this label onto it.
But this is not Mounjaro.
People have taken another one of our medicines called Trulicity and actually relabeled it with this fake label and actually hand painted the green button that this device uses a color blue.
Trulicity, another diabetes medication that, if not prescribed by a doctor and taken properly, could cause hypoglycemia or possibly even death. And Lilly is not alone in this fight against risky fakes. In 2023, the FDA warning about counterfeit versions of Ozempic and Wegovy, the diabetes and weight loss medications made by Novo Nordisk. Dr. Hyman tells us this is a growing problem they are trying to fight.
Can you walk us through sort of what y'all's process has been like to track down these counterfeits?
Anyone that goes online these days, it's not hard to see these products being advertised to you. So a variety of online marketplaces and other venues, these products come to us. Some of them are sent to us through complaints, patients being harmed or it not giving them the anticipated benefit.
And what are you finding? Are these actual real medicines?
They range from products that don't contain anything resembling our medicines to medicines that could actually be harmful if administered at the doses, impurities, bacteria, a variety of truly frightening things.
What's happening in here?
Lilly allowing GMA exclusive access to a new, still under construction manufacturing lab in Indianapolis to show us what goes into keeping their drugs sterile.
What's amazing about these facilities, they're fully automated, they're isolated so that humans aren't coming in contact with the medicine, things are safe, sterile.
Lilly says it has invested nearly $20 billion in new or upgraded manufacturing since 2020.
Skeptical people will say, well, you don't want us to get it for cheap. What's the motivation to make sure that these drugs are what they are?
It's really avoidance of patient harm. Part of being an innovator in this space and a pioneer of these medicines is that we're also obligated to make sure that patients are educated and are not receiving products that can harm them.
And Lilly says it is working with authorities to remove the counterfeits. Here's the things they say to keep in mind we're looking for this medication. Authentic product requires a prescription. It should come from a pharmacy and be refrigerated. The medication should be a clear liquid, and they're warning people, do not buy from social media or other non-licensed marketplaces. Their best advice, buy their product from a reputable pharmacy. Guys.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, Eva, thanks very much. Pop news time. Will Reeves back.
Let's do it, George. Hello again. And we begin with an exciting announcement. A brand new docuseries in the works highlighting comedic pioneers throughout history and their impact on our culture. Michael is fired up and we'll tell you why in a second. The series is called Black Comedy in America. It's co-produced by Michael's company, Smack Productions. And we've got a first look at the trailer right now. Check it out.
There's a whole history of black comedy.
It's undeniable.
Unapologetic.
Unprecedented.
Unhinged.
Exactly. Richard Pryor. He changed the game.
Eddie Murphy.
The kings of comedy.
Def Comedy Jam.
Jeffersons. People started seeing us.
Bernie gave me the best advice.
What was that?
He said, be funny, period. We talking truth now?
Yeah, I remember playing at joints in Charlotte, and they tried to make me sign a paper that said, you can't joke about white people. I said, well, you better tell these 3 sold-out shows they gotta go.
All right, can't wait for this. Michael, quick reaction to the trailer here.
I love it.
He loves it.
Love it.
The series is hosted by Tiffany Haddish, Chris Spencer, Ryan Davis. They'll talk to some of the biggest names in the industry about the humble beginnings and meteoric rises of some of the most powerful voices to ever enter black comedy. That includes names like Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, as well as interviews with Kevin Hart, Marlon Wayans, Anthony Anderson, Marla Gibbs, and many, many more. Black Comedy in America premieres Tuesday, October 15th on Vice TV. Congratulations, Michael. Can't wait for that.
Thank you.
It's going to be
appreciate it.
fantastic.
Yeah,
congratulations.
You know what else I think would be fantastic? A book from Reese Witherspoon.
Oh.
And that's what I got for you this morning. Oscar-winning actress,
A lot of
producer,
excitement
and
there.
New York Times bestseller Reese Witherspoon is adding a new line to her resume, novelist. She'll be writing her first adult fiction novel, teaming up with one of the very best and best-selling thriller writers, Harlan Coben, for it. Reese posting her excitement about the news on Instagram, captioning, "As a massive fan of Harlan's work, I can't believe he agreed to co-author a novel with me. I'm either the most persuasive person alive or the idea of the book is just too good, maybe both." End quote. The novel will be based on Witherspoon's original idea, and they will collaborate on characters, developing the concept together. And a screen adaptation is already in the works.
Really?
Of course. And I would venture.
The book isn't written yet. How do you have a movie?
So if Reese isn't in it, I bet Nicole Kidman will be getting a call.
Yeah.
She's the queen of the thriller these days. That's a free idea for you there, Reese. There's no title yet, but Witherspoon and Coben's novel will hit bookshelves nationwide next fall.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, my daughter Elliot saw the Instagram post yesterday and said, freaking out.
All right, you have one buyer, viewer, whatever. We're looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to Christmas around here, but not yet, according to the self-proclaimed Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey. She tells fans how she feels about being, quote, rushed into the holiday season. Here she is in a clearly impromptu video aboard her private jet. Take a look.
This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard, Mariah. We are headed to the North Pole.
Not yet. Sorry. They always rush.
She captioned the video to those asking, not yet. An official decree from the Queen of Christmas. There it is. Meanwhile, All I Want for Christmas Is You is celebrating a big milestone this year, 30 years. And in that time, it's become a holiday staple, broken some records in the process. Don't worry, we will start hearing it very soon and very often, including right now. I've got that and James Blunt, You're Beautiful, both stuck in my head, and it's a lot. I have your version of James Blunt
Thank you very
in
much.
my head.
Not to be heard again.
For better,
but
for
thank you.
worse.
For better.
Mostly for better. You're amazing at everything, Robin. Go to the next story. I'm embarrassed now.
I'm the only one who stood by your singing today.
I do know that, George.
You're the only one who didn't want to tell her the truth. It wasn't your best. I love you, but that wasn't your best moment.
Ginger, save us.
Yeah.
Singing is joy, no matter what it sounds like, Robin. Singing is joy.
It is time now for Deals and Steals. Tori is here with some great products, all for just $20 and under, and all from small businesses. Our viewers love this when this happens.
We do, as do I. This is a great one. So this is Kobo candles. Every single element of this candle is made in America. So the wax that they use, the vessel, the glass, the packaging, every single element of it. And what's awesome about these is that you can enjoy the botanical fragrance. Wild tomato is my favorite. This one is my favorite.
Oh my goodness.
That is so good. It really and truly smells just like tomato. We've got lavender. This is one of their one of their most popular, also lavender, the sunflower.
Oh my gosh.
And then what's cool is you can soak the packaging and then pot it in soil, and it will grow the herb or the flower that the candle is inspired by. So you really get so much use out of this, but the scents are sensational and you will love them, and they are 50% off, $16.50
Oh my
today.
gosh, it smells so, so good.
Okay,
All right.
$16.25. I said the wrong number. Glucosin.
$16.25, okay.
Yes, the number's right on your screen. Ignore me. Ignore me. If you need hands-free lighting when you are doing reading, walking, crafting, that's it for you. That would go right around your neck, and then you can adjust it to point the light exactly where you need it.
Yeah.
And it's just an easy, lightweight way to enjoy a little extra light. The upgraded versions also have a timer, so if you don't want to worry about snoozing off, you can go right to sleep. It will shut off automatically for you. They're super smart, super easy to use, and very affordable today at 50% off, $11 to $12.
I love the different colors as well.
Okay, this is all about joy. You today are all about joy. This color's fabulous. And this company, Nectar Life's all about adding a little bit of color to your self-care bath routine or shower routine. So everything you see here can go on your body. These little donut soaps, they've got like a really delightful scent to them.
Cute.
We've got their whipped soap, which is just a great lather. It feels really good on your skin, cleanses, smooths, nourishing. And everything doesn't just look fun and festive, but it also has really great ingredients. So think coconut milk, coconut oil, all kinds of good stuff that's great for your skin. Great prices, all slash and have starts at $4.50.
Love it. Now, why are our viewers going to love these brushes?
Okay, so Petula was already eyeing these brushes. She told me these were the OG. So back from when she went to beauty school to today, these are a favorite from Denman. More than 100 million of these brushes sold. This one right here, this Curl Definer Styler, 60,000 reviews on that. And what's great about that is to use on wet hair to help define curls, but they're really all about sort of your specific needs. So there's a different brush that is for styling and shine, a different brush if you have long hair that needs kind of a different texture. They're all very specifically and meticulously designed. Great price today, all slash and have starting at $6.
All right, now
OS first.
Okay, I love socks.
We do love socks, and you love these. These are all for every sock has a purpose for pain relief, performance, and lifestyle needs. This is a company too, Robin, that's based in North Carolina that's been impacted by the hurricane. Some of their staff has had to evacuate. Some of them have been volunteering in their community. They've donated more than 25,000 pairs of socks. So if you need great socks, for whether it is for comfort, plantar fasciitis, everything is anatomically correct. These feel good on your feet. The company does great stuff. They start at $8.
And you'll be doing something really good.
Yes,
really
they want to use this segment to benefit the company and to benefit the community. Sorry.
Yes.
Clean people. This is all about laundry detergent. These little laundry sheets right here, perfectly dosed. So no waste, no plastic. Upgrade your laundry with these. They start at $6.25.
And the balls right here as well.
Dryer balls, fabulous.
B-Rad loves that. So
B-Rad approved.
Thank you so much. We have partnered with these companies on these great deals, and you can get them and bonus deals on our website. We're going to be right back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
We do welcome you back to GMA, and be sure to watch tomorrow when we head out to Brooklyn. A block party and a big ray of sunshine surprise that will keep you smiling all weekend long. And we are looking forward to that, Michael.
Yes, we are, Robin. And now to fall fashion. Temperatures are starting to drop and the air is getting crisp. So it's time to break out the jackets and coats. Fashion expert Erica Wark is here with some of this fall's hottest looks for the cool weather. And all of these are shoppable on GoodMorningAmerica.com. Erica, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you're wearing wearing the first look. It's a vest. It's a jacket. It's amazing, and it's perfect for the fall.
It really is. Listen, a vest is my favorite fall staple because it's so functional. You can layer as much or as little as you want with it. You can do a thin knit sweater on those warmer days, or you can also add a jacket under your vest for those cooler temperatures. I also love this one in particular from Nordstrom for just $158 because it's a longer length, which is great. So you always want to do the bum test when you're wearing a vest. You want to make sure for your morning commute when you're sitting down, your bum's covered. Okay, that is key. The other thing you want to consider is having a really great cinched waist. So this one comes with a fabric belt, but you could also remove the belt, and then you can have a little bit of a looser fit.
I like that.
So very multifaceted, Michael. Very multifaceted.
And you layered it very well.
Thank
there we
you.
go. A little warm in here, but
there we go.
Now, you know, the teddy coat, it's been around for a long time, more than a decade now, and it's still going strong. So we're gonna have Tanae come on out with the teddy coat. There we go. There we go.
Yes, so good. I love this teddy coat from Fabletics for just $134.95. This is part of the collab with Khloe Kardashian. I love this one in particular because, first of all, it's fully lined, so it's going to give you that extra bit of coziness on those cold temperature days. But I also love the color, the camel color. It's just so rich. It's such a great neutral. You could style it for every day. Here I styled it down on today with a really great cream sweatsuit underneath. You know, she's running her errands. She's dropping her kids off in the morning. You throw this coat on and you instantly feel glamorous. And the best thing about this is you can also level this coat up with a really great LBD and heel for a night out too.
And I was thinking when you get home from all the errands, you need a nap, just use it as a blanket. That looks comfortable.
All the things.
All right, today, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, the classic quilted coats and jackets, a classic for the fall, where fashion meets function. Here we go. This is Liz, who's wearing a modern take, actually.
Liz looks amazing in this. So, Listen, the quilted coat is such a staple for the fall season, but I love what we did here with this really great jacket from the Gap for just $128. It's a little bit more modernized, so it's a little bit more cropped, it's a little bit boxier. The quilting is a little bit oversized, and I also love how we mix different textures. So there's also a little bit of that corduroy detail on the shoulder and the collar, which is really fun. I also love that this is done in a moss green being one of the biggest colors this season for fall. And I also love that this is made of a 100% recycled nylon, so it's also going to be water repellent.
Oh.
All of the things.
All right, great job. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Liz.
so much, Liz. Appreciate that. We got a great men's look as well. Trevor, come on out, Trevor. He's wearing a collared faux suede jacket.
So good.
And this is good for like transitional weather, right?
This is perfect for transitional weather. This one's from H&M for only $79.99, and I really love this one in particular because it's done in a beautiful luxe navy. You likely already have a black coat at home, so why not look for another neutral? And navy is great because it works with all the other neutrals you already have at home, but it also works with other pops of color as well. I think what I love most about this jacket, though, is its versatility. You can style it down with a t-shirt and jeans, or you could easily elevate this for the office and wear a suit underneath it as well. So it's just one of those pieces that you can wear again and again and again. And when it comes to texture, nothing screams fall to me than suede. And so I just think it looks so chic.
Trevor, you look good. You look good.
He's feeling himself.
Good job. Yeah, there we go.
Thanks, Trevor.
All right. Now, plaid is big in the fall, and nowhere better way than to wear plaid than with a coat.
Oh,
all right, so let's bring out Rachel. I like this.
Isn't this gorgeous? I absolutely love this coat. This is from Banana Republic Factory for under $200. I think what I love about this in particular is the length of the coat. It's a little bit longer. It also has the notched collar. It has the cinched waist with the belt, the fabric belt. And hot tip, you can also remove that fabric belt and then use your own belt at home, even like the one I'm wearing now, to really add some personality to it to make it feel a little bit different. What I also love about this, though, is we're working with lots of different neutrals in this plaid print. We're doing oatmeal, we're doing tan, we're doing camel, and we're doing black. So it kind of does all the work for you, and that's what we did here with Rachel's. We styled it underneath with a really chic black turtleneck and wide leg trouser. I think she looks amazing.
She does look amazing. Now, when you're gonna go to plaid, do you go a bigger or smaller pattern?
You know, I say for fall, anything goes. You can go with a tighter plaid print or louder, but in this case, when you are going for a statement coat, you want to go all the way, so I say go big for plaid.
If you're gonna go, you go all the way. That's
exactly.
right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Erica, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
we appreciate it. And all our models, we appreciate them as well. And you at home, you can shop for all of these coats. Here, come on out.
Yeah.
Come on out. Show everybody all the looks. You can shop for all these coats on GoodMorningAmerica.com.
We're back with our friend Sarah Paulson. You know her from American Horror Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, a whole lot more. Now she's starring in a new psychological thriller called Hold Your Breath. Tell us what it's about.
Oh, goodness. It's about a woman in the 1930s who is left alone to fend for herself amidst these horrible dust storms. And she has 2 young children. She had a third who died of scarlet fever. And so she is sort of in the throes of grief, which is why I wanted to do it, because it's not your average slasher horror movie. It's much more of a psychological thriller and basically at its core, the story of a mother fighting to save her family.
Let's take a look at a clip.
He's been sneaking into our house, moving things at night, trying to hurt the girls. He can get through locks, closed windows. He comes apart like dust. He seeps in through the cracks. Please, come on. You can breathe him in. He'll make you do terrible things.
I want to scoot over here a little bit. You described this role as a descent into madness.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a role like this, how do you keep one foot in the real world?
That's probably a great question for my shrink, because there is a certain amount of it that is hard to shake. But at the same time, for me, the genre is the most exciting to work in because the stakes are extremely high. You're usually living in the world of life or death circumstances, which means as an actor, you can go big or go home, and I tend to go big and not go home. So
and we're glad that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your great-grandmother was the inspiration for this character?
Well, my great-grandmother's hairdo was an inspiration for this movie. There's a wonderful picture that my mom gave me that is 4 generations, which is my mother as a young child sitting on my grandmother's lap, her mother, her mother's mother, and her mother's mother. And she had this beautiful blonde, long hair that was braided on top of her head. And so I sent the picture to the filmmakers, and I asked if I could do this as an homage to her. And,
wow.
And so that was because, I just thought it was pretty cool.
That's special.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
You're also reunited with Evan Moss-Backrack. You worked with him in The Bear. And boy, I'll never get that episode out of my mind.
The Fishes episode.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was wild when we were doing it because it was the closest thing to doing a play, actually, because we had so many cameras going at the same time. It reminded me of when I did The People vs. O.J., where anytime we were doing those courtroom scenes, there were 5 cameras going all the time, so you never knew when you were going to be on camera. And I was really nervous to be on the set, actually, of The Bear. Yes, because I was such a rabid fan, and we actually shot the movie before I did the episode of The Bear. So I was so grateful to see a familiar face because Eben and I had done this freaky movie together. And I walked on the set, I was like, my brother. It was really sweet.
Will you go back for season 4?
No one's told me I can't say, so I'll let that sort of communicate whether or not I'm going to be back. I might be back. I might be back. That was a little, they didn't say I couldn't say, so maybe.
But you didn't say.
I didn't really say, so you can't sue me either.
Well, that's a fair answer. Fair answer. And you're busy.
Yes.
You're working with Ryan Murphy again.
I am.
And All's Fair, Glenn Close, Naomi Watts, Kim Kardashian, Niecy Nash, Tiana Taylor. You have a text chain?
Yes, we have a very innocent text chain going on, which is just about like having dinner all together. There's nothing really dramatic or salacious or tidbitty on there yet. It's just like who wants poached salmon and who rather would have like lemon pasta.
But I heard you say yet. I heard yet.
Well, because I hope it will evolve into the thing we all want it to be.
Well, you're not the only one who's busy. Ryan Murphy.
Yes.
Okay. And so, since you're working with him again, is there a chance American Horror Story again?
I think there is a big chance that I will return to American Horror Story. I've got everything crossed. I would like to do it more than anything. It's my home. It's where I started. I got to play, 7 different characters in 7 years, which as an actor is the most exciting, thrilling thing, and also allows an audience to be ready for anything you're going to do because they're not attached to one thing that you do specifically. So that has given me a lot of career flexibility, and so also just my favorite people. If I could be reunited with Evan Peters and Ryan Murphy, you can just pretty much tell me what time to be there, and I'll be there.
Love that.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So glad you have so much going on. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you
today.
for having me, really.
And coming up, Star Donaldson reveals the first ever Birdie Breakthrough Beauty Awards.
Excited about this. We're back with the first ever Birdie Breakthrough Beauty Awards. And these awards celebrate brands that are breaking the mold with their innovative products. Birdie's social media director, Star Donaldson, is here with us with most cutting-edge skin, hair, and self-care products. They are all shoppable on our website, and the best part is they're all under $50. You're a star. You're a star. Let's start with texture here, because I've seen Andrea, who works with Ginger, I've seen her use this on her, so tell us about texture.
Well, we love this product. This is Denesamyrix. So there are so many cream blushes on the market right now, but there's none with Denesamyrix signature balm texture. So it goes on as a cream and it dries down in this beautiful blurred finish. It's like matte, but not flat. So it's like a filter IRL. And today I'm wearing the shade Rosé and
I knew you were. I knew you were. It looks so great.
Thank you so much. I love it. It's just such a great product for that little blurred look. We love a filter.
Yeah, yes we do, Star. Let's move on over. Is this a breakthrough when it comes to collagen?
Yes.
Because that's all the rage you hear about.
It really is. So this is Neutrogena's Collagen Bank Moisturizer SPF 30. So collagen is actually something we produce in our bodies naturally. But research shows sometimes we need a little bit of an extra boost for that plump skin and some anti-aging benefits. So this product can help preserve the collagen you already have and potentially give you plump and glowing skin for longer.
Okay.
So Neutrogena's scientists created this micropeptide technology that preliminary studies show can actually penetrate in the skin 10 surface layers deep.
10.
Very deep in the skin, you know?
Okay.
And so it's approved for everyday use, even for sensitive skin, and it has that SPF 30, which is super important for every day.
That's why it's the winner here.
It's a winner.
Okay. Oh, for those of us who love to do their nails.
Love to do our nails. So manicures, super big on Birdie. We absolutely love them. And Olive and June is a brand that's always been at the forefront of making DIY manicures super fun and easy from home. Easy. I swear.
Okay.
So this is their penny tool. It's an art tool with 3 interchangeable heads. We have the silicone cylinder, the sponge, and a daughter tool. And this has all of your bases covered for basic manicures at home. And I swear, you do not have to be a nail artist to master this.
Okay, because they're not all the same.
They're not all the same. No, they can give you an ombre look. We can do a French. We can do a polka dot manicure. It can all happen here.
Okay, I'm sold. Okay, Star. One of our producers, Carolyn, she tried out these Olay melts during her nighttime routine. So what makes this a breakthrough when it comes to cleansing?
Yeah, so these are Olay's cleansing melts with vitamin C, and I was fortunate enough to spend some time with the formulators at Olay to get a little behind-the-scenes look at why this is so innovative. So basically, it's a water-activated cleansing pad that dissolves into a rich and creamy lather that cleans, tones, and refreshes for a 3 times better clean. So
3 times.
3 times. We're getting rid of SPF, makeup, and oil for that real clean feeling.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Carolyn.
You know?
I'm gonna ask Carolyn because she incorporated it into her nighttime routine, so she's gonna tell us. She's a producer. Can we just? So are you done here?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I think that's what you need to know.
Okay, is this really a breakthrough when it comes to breakouts?
Tell me about it. So this is Rael's chin mask. So I know I really struggle with acne in my chin area, and so many others do. And this is a product that really focuses on that area, which is great. So it's a 2-step system. The first step is a sheet mask that's customized for your chin area, and it's soaked in acne-fighting ingredients. And so when you're done with the mask, it also comes with a pouch that's full of a barrier cream that has ceramides and vitamin B5. So it's really that 1-2 punch you need to clear your pores and also heal compromised skin.
Yeah, and it's not too tight. I always think about sometimes the mask and that, and it's not
too tight. And we have all the hydrating ingredients in the pouch after to really soothe if you feel any sort of irritation. So it's great.
Thank you. Okay, dry shampoo. And Marilyn, one of our stylists, she tried it out, and she really was talking about this because it's all the rage. What is it?
It really is. So this is K18's Air Wash, and TikTok, the internet, everyone is going crazy over it, so that's how you know it's good. So K18 really came with something special here. This is a product that can actually sense oil and odor in the hair even before you do.
It can sense it for you.
It can sense it for you.
It's kind of AI? It's no,
it's kind of AI.
Okay.
Hey,
all right.
No, you're right. So it actually has technology that can sense the molecules that create oil and odor in the hair and give you a fresh, clean feeling in your hair for up to 3 full days.
Because sometimes you're like, do I really need to wash my hair? I'm not really sure. And so this can tell you?
This can help you out in that area. And it actually goes on clear, which we love. It's a non-aerosol.
Okay.
And it doesn't create any buildup. And if your hair is like kind of wet after using it, you can blow dry it and give some beautiful volume afterwards.
All these products are great. What took you guys so long to do this?
We'll come back and talk about them anytime.
Okay. Thank you, Star. Thank you. It's just
Thank you so much.
Your debut, and you did really well. Proud of you. You can shop all of these products on our website. You're a star.
And we have some happy news from our GMA family. HR Director Maddie Haynes and her husband She just welcomed a baby boy, Arlo. Everyone's so happy. Our congratulations to the family and to Arlo's grandparents who are watching in the UK and Australia. What a cute little boy.
Yeah. They're playing this music because they're trying to bait us into getting into another argument. It's not going to work, Pete. Not going to work, Lily. Not going to work, Simone. Oh, beautiful baby, though. Yeah.
Have a great day.